There is a strange truth about life. It never chooses the untested. The ones who rise, who awaken, who see beyond the illusion, are always the wounded. Life, in its mysterious intelligence, does not trust perfection. It trusts pain. Because pain shapes you into something that comfort never could. When life breaks you open, when it strips you of everything you thought you were, it's not punishment. It's an initiation. It's life whispering, "Now, you are ready." Most people spend their lives chasing safety. They avoid heartbreak, failure, and loss, not realizing those are the very doors through which truth enters. The wounded ones carry cracks where the light gets in, and through those cracks, wisdom is born. So maybe life doesn't choose the strong, it chooses the broken open, because only a heart that has suffered learns how to truly see. Only those who have been lost can guide others home. Pain has a strange way of dismantling illusions. It removes everything that isn't real, your masks, your titles, your pride. It strips you naked, leaving you with nothing but awareness itself. And that's exactly what life wants, because when you have nothing left to hold on to, you finally meet yourself. You meet the raw, unfiltered essence that was buried beneath all the noise. It's the silence after the storm, the place where your true nature lives. And when you stand there, trembling but awake, you begin to see every tear was a teacher, every loss was a liberation. Pain is not there to punish you, it's there to prepare you. It turns resistance into surrender, and surrender into wisdom. When you are forced to let go of what you thought you needed, you begin to see that what remains is what truly matters. The laughter that rises from the ruins, the peace that follows the collapse, that is awakening. People often imagine enlightenment as something that happens in meditation halls or mountaintops, but the truth is far less glamorous and far more human. It happens in hospitals, at funerals, in empty apartments, in nights where you fall to your knees and whisper, "I can't do this anymore." That's where the doorway opens, not in perfection, but in surrender. And it's there, in that raw surrender, that life starts to speak through you instead of to you. You become the instrument instead of the player. The current of existence flows freely because the dam of resistance is gone. You realize that you never needed control, you needed clarity, you never needed certainty, you needed trust. And trust only grows in the soil of uncertainty. So life gives you pain not because it's cruel, but because it's kind in ways you don't yet understand. It breaks your shell so that your soul can breathe. It pushes you into darkness so that you can remember your own light. It lets you be lost so that you can discover what can never be lost. The wounded ones, they are not the victims of fate. They are the ones who saw through the illusion of safety. They are the ones who fell, shattered, and still chose to stand again. They carry invisible crowns made of scars, and in their quiet eyes lives a depth that comfort could never create. Pain doesn't make you less. It makes you real. It cuts through the noise, through the pretending, through the masks. It brings you back home to yourself. And in that homecoming, something miraculous happens. You begin to feel connected to everything. Because to feel pain deeply is to realize how alive you are. And to be alive, truly alive, is to feel everything without resistance. There comes a moment, quiet, almost imperceptible, when pain stops being the enemy. When you stop fighting the darkness and begin to listen to it. That moment is the turning point. It's not dramatic, there's no thunder, no revelation from the sky. It's just a shift, small, gentle, yet cosmic. You realize that maybe, just maybe, life has never been against you. The same storms that once terrified you now teach you how to sail. The same heartbreaks that once shattered you now expand your heart. And suddenly, you understand that everything that was taken from you was never meant to stay. It was meant to reveal what cannot be taken. That's the paradox of pain. It feels like death, but it's actually rebirth. It's the death of the illusion, the death of the small self, so that the vastness within you can finally breathe. You stop saying, "Why me?" and start whispering, "Thank you." Not out of masochism, but out of deep recognition that the universe was never punishing you. It was preparing you. You begin to see patterns, how every ending carried a seed of beginning, how every rejection protected you from what wasn't aligned, how every breakdown cleared space for truth to emerge. You start to see life as intelligent, not random, not cruel, but wise. And that realization changes everything. You look back and notice that the times you thought you were dying were actually the times you were being born into a new consciousness. Every scar becomes sacred. Every tear becomes a mirror of compassion. You realize that the pain didn't destroy you, it revealed you. The turning point is not about escaping suffering, but about seeing through it. You begin to sense a quiet presence behind all things, something vast, patient, and infinitely kind. You feel that life has been waiting for you to stop running, to turn around, and to finally see that the one who was hurting and the one who was healing were never two different people. From that moment, you no longer move through life with fear but with reverence. You understand that even your pain is sacred because it's the evidence that you are evolving. The wound was not your punishment, it was your passage. That's when you awaken to the simple truth. Life didn't choose you because you were weak or broken. It chose you because you were ready. Ready to see what others could not. Ready to feel what others refused to feel. Ready to carry the light that only darkness could teach you to hold. Every wound carries a message, not one of tragedy, but of transformation. The pain you carry is not a curse, it's a compass. It points you toward the places within yourself that still ask to be seen, touched, understood, forgiven. At first you resist it. You want to numb it, outrun it, silence it. But pain has patience far greater than yours. It waits quietly until you're ready to stop escaping. And when you finally face it, when you stop turning away, it begins to speak. Pain says, "I'm not here to destroy you. I'm here to show you where you stopped loving yourself." And when you hear that truth for the first time, something begins to break, but it's not you. It's the wall you built around your heart. The armor you thought was protecting you was actually imprisoning you. The wound becomes the teacher. It teaches humility, compassion, patience. It teaches you to sit with discomfort without needing to fix it. It teaches you to listen to silence, to trust timing, to surrender control. You start to see beauty in places where you once saw only loss. There's an alchemy in suffering that logic cannot explain. Pain, when faced fully, turns into clarity. Loss, when accepted, turns into gratitude. Fear, when embraced, dissolves into freedom. The ones who have walked through pain and stayed open, they are the ones who shine differently. Not with the brightness of perfection, but with the warmth of presence. They no longer need to prove anything, because they've already met themselves in the fire. And here's the paradox. The deeper your wound, the greater your capacity for love. The soul expands in proportion to its breaking. The heart that has bled learns to recognize the wounds of others, to hold them gently, without judgment. That's the real purpose of pain. It connects you. It dissolves the illusion of separation. You realize that your suffering was never just about you. It was life's way of preparing you to be a vessel for healing. Through your openness, others remember their own strength. Through your story, others remember that light still exists. The wound you once cursed becomes your greatest gift, because it gave you depth, empathy, and wisdom that comfort could never teach. It turned your heart into a mirror that reflects both the sorrow and the beauty of being alive. And that's the quiet miracle, when you no longer wish your pain away, but thank it for shaping the version of you that could finally understand love without condition. There comes a moment in every wounded soul's life when silence becomes louder than pain, when you've cried enough, fought enough, begged enough, and something inside you simply stops, not from defeat, but from understanding. It's in that quiet space that you realize life never punished you. It prepared you. Every betrayal, every loss, every heartbreak was not there to destroy you. It was there to break the illusion that you were ever incomplete. Because the truth is, the wounded ones are not the weakest. They are the portals through which the divine enters the world. They are the ones who have felt the darkness so deeply that they now carry light without even trying. The universe doesn't choose them because they deserve suffering. It chooses them because they can transform suffering. Your pain was never a curse. It was a calling, a secret initiation into compassion, presence, and power. And those scars, they are not reminders of what was lost. They are proof of what survived. One day you'll meet someone lost in their own storm, and without even realizing it, your light will guide them out, because you'll speak their pain fluently, the language only the wounded understand. And that's when you'll finally see that life never chose you to suffer. It chose you to awaken. It chose you because your heart could hold both the wound and the world. So breathe. You've made it through the fire. And now, it's your turn to become the flame. If this message touched you, comment, "My wounds became my wings."